Hi everyone, it's Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode number 2, Hidden Clues. So let me start by saying this was a little bit harder to find clues because it was just one of those filler type of episode where they're telling the backstory of the kingdom. Next week I think it'll be a little bit easier because we'll see some of Dwight, some of Daryl, we'll get Rick's group. But there was a lot of symbolism and a lot of foreshadowing. So, and it all centered around Ezekiel and Ezekiel's kingdom. A lot of biblical references here. So let's get right into it. And starting with the number 81. This could be house number 81, but 81 also has a lot of historical relevance. Chinese culture, it's a perfect number. It's also the age at which a man has lived a complete life. Or could it be Rick's group started with 11, then they have 9, and 9 minus 1 would be 8. Is this a reflection of Carol? Is she seeing an older version of herself coming back to this house and potentially dying? Or is this more of her ghost from the past? We know in the beginning she saw all the people. She saw the Walker version, and she saw a human version. So once again, looking in the window, I'd love to hear your comments below. Morgan is getting out his tracking skills. This is not the first time Morgan has carved his way. We've seen the arrows. The nice thing about this is there were the AMC images that came out a while back. And now if you go back onto the website and check those images that were posted, they actually have captions of the episode and who took the picture. So it was initially supposed to be episode 3, and then they moved that up, and they'll move episode 2. We'll get to see it next week. So the lucky or unlucky rabbit's foot, this is the one that Morgan carries around his chest pocket. So while Carol's unconscious, I think Morgan said give or take 2 days, he actually hung this up beside her to sort of watch over and nurse her back to recovery. And I think Morgan might have initially acquired this from Eastman way back in the filler episode. To get my fact checkers ready, I'll have to go back and check that out. Let's talk about the wind chimes. These were focused on several times throughout the episode. They're known to ward off evil and also helps with chi flow. So maybe Ezekiel thinks Carol needs to get her karma back. So we've seen images of this previously, the pasta bowl and the skeleton keys. That was on the AMC site as well. This is something I just wanted to kind of throw out there because the bus said ECSD, more of kind of a blooper than anything else. Elbert County School District is actually in Georgia. We know the characters are currently in Virginia, just trying to keep them honest with their props. They could have painted over it. There is no ECSD in Virginia, D.C., or the Maryland area. So moving forward, once again, we talked about this last week, just more Ezekiel-isms. That'll probably be a new saying. They'll take over Abe-isms. So let's get to the fruit. This was something was very symbolic all throughout. So Jerry actually offers her the fruit. We know, I think there was apples, nectarines, and also pomegranate. Well, here's an interesting fact for you guys. Adam and Eve did bite into a fruit, but the book of Genesis does not explicitly say which type of fruit. Most people think it's an apple, but there's also historians out there, theologians, that think it's a pomegranate. And Ezekiel actually mentioned a pomegranate several times. So drink from the well, replenish the well. This was mentioned several times as well. But last time we saw it was actually written on the wall in Carol's room, so maybe it's a little bit of symbolism toward her that she needs to replenish her own well. So this was a great scene. This is where the walkers were coming right after they fed the pigs, and Ezekiel said, "May we one day cease you all from this curse. Till then, know that we live in your place, full, festive, faithful, and free." I thought this could have been a touch of foreshadowing that they're looking for a way to cure this curse, and also revisiting the past as well, too, that everyone is infected. Now to the brawl. This was such a great scene. And a little bit of foreshadowing with this as well. So we know that Richard got in a little bit of trouble. One, Morgan pulled out the gun, and then he looked a little nervous, and I don't know if you guys saw it, but he looked down. The gun was on safety and wasn't going to pull the trigger. So let me know if you guys think Morgan will be able to pull the trigger at some point. And also, next week is Produce Week, so produce, or he's going to have to go first. That was Richard who was throwing the punch, and he was talking about that. So definitely foreshadowing that if you don't come up with the right amount of goods, we're going to have to come back and make an example out of Richard. I think that's also why they might have been feeding the pigs, the walkers, to save on their own supplies. Carol got the chocolate. And I'd love to know your opinion. Who dies first? Who do you hate worse right now? This guy or the Polaroid guy that was taking pictures of Glenn? Let's talk about Ben for a second. Ben seems to be following in Morgan's footsteps. Now keep in mind, Ben's dad died, and the story he was told was, I think 8 people went out, and his dad was one of the ones that died. But could Ezekiel have potentially lied to Ben to protect him? Might Ben's dad have died at the hands of Negan? Let me know your thoughts. Carol finally snuck away, and when she gets out into the garden, what does she do? She takes an apple off the tree. So amazing symbolism there. And as you guys know, Adam and Eve, once Eve took the apple, she was completely exposed. And I think the writers did a great job with this. Carol took the apple, and right after that, she was caught by Ezekiel. You know, they lit the fire, they talked, and then we really got to exposing both of them. And I think it's so symbolic there that Ezekiel went through his weakness, and he also talked about Carol's weakness as well, too. Let me know your thoughts on that. Morgan delivered the package, so he is putting the flag down on the mailbox after he delivers Carol. Guess he doesn't want her to be interrupted. When Carol got back, she actually saw the real version of the walker again. I don't think we saw the actual kill, but we did see her out there digging the grave, so we make the assumption she did kill the walker, and she's getting a little bit of her bearings back. And the final scene was none other than Ezekiel showing up, and this time he had the pomegranate. Remember, he said the pomegranate was sweet, surrounded by sour. So he's actually bringing her the fruit. Let me know what you thought about this. You know, a lot of vague and abstract references that are out there. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, your comments. I think they did an excellent job in getting us intact with the kingdom. I completely trust Ezekiel at this point, and knowing him from the comic, he seems very trustworthy. But there could be a different spin put on the actor on the TV show. Let me know if you're fully devoted to this character, or you think that he could turn in the near future. My name's Killshot. Peace.